Has the Las Vegas Strip become unaffordable for tourists? It's been a
burger cost at some of these restaurants.
The burger, that's a whole nother story there, sir.
Are you paying $60 for 2 hamburgers in Houston?
No.
Lines wrapping around the block near Decatur and Vegas Drive as panic grows over where to find food.
It's Monday afternoon in the MGM Grand, and the only sound is the distant, lonely hum of a vacuum cleaner. The slot machines, rows and rows of them, are dark. Their digital jingles are silent. This entire casino, a space the size of an airplane hangar, is empty. It's 4 p.m. We walk over the glass and steel bridge to the Bellagio. There's nobody here either. The high-stakes poker room, a place that should be buzzing with tension and cigar smoke, is silent. A few security guards stand around looking at their phones. This isn't a slow day. This isn't an off-season. This is a new, chilling reality. Las Vegas, the city that promised a party for everyone, the neon oasis in the desert that welcomed the dreamer and the grinder, is quietly shutting its doors. And it's doing so to the very people who built its legend. If you haven't heard, the numbers are grim. The statistics are not just a warning, they are an alarm bell. Tourism in Las Vegas is in a freefall, plunging by over 10% this year. This isn't just a dip, it's the biggest sustained decline in visitor volume in over 50 years. Think about that. It's a bigger, steeper drop than the one seen during the 2009 Great Recession, when the entire global economy was melting down. But this is not an accident. It's not a mystery. It's a strategy. Something strange and terrifying is happening in Las Vegas. The city has made a deliberate high-stakes bet. The corporations that now own this skyline have decided to intentionally push out the middle class. They are actively trying to shed the average visitor to transform this town into an exclusive, high-cost playground for the global elite. And that bet is backfiring, spectacularly. We came here to investigate a different story, but the downfall of Vegas was all over the news, all over social media. So we decided to pop by for a couple of days to see the truth for ourselves. What we found was a city betraying its own identity. A ghost in a glittery suit. We met a couple on the bridge between casinos. They've been coming here for decades, celebrating anniversaries, birthdays. They were looking at the fountains, not with wonder, but with a kind of finality. They told us, with no joy in their voice, that we will probably never come back again. This is probably their last visit. This is the human cost of the new Las Vegas. It's not just about money, it's about a feeling of profound betrayal. We spoke to another man, a visitor who's been coming since the 1980s. He told us it used to be player-friendly. It was cheaper to come and stay and play. He remembers when you could sit down and play $3 blackjack. The dealers knew your name. The pit bosses would buy you a buffet ticket. They were always giving you free buffets. But he says he can't win at blackjack anymore. The rules have changed. The payouts are worse. It's all changed. He told us about the old casinos, the ones with character. The Desert Inn is gone. The Stardust with its iconic sign is gone. The Mirage, the casino that started the mega resort boom, is gone, replaced by a guitar. The Sahara is gone. Everything is different. It was a lot warmer before, he said. You'd hear the sound of coins dropping into metal trays. It was exciting. Now it's all glass and concrete. It's very corporate. That corporate chill is exactly what the new strategy feels like. This isn't about hospitality anymore. It's about revenue per available room. It's about maximizing spend per guest. It's about squeezing every last cent from every person who walks through the door. In this new model, you are no longer a guest. You are a walking wallet. The city is pivoting hard. It's no longer about gambling. It's about luxury experiences. We walked through the malls, and it's a graveyard of high-end brands. Prada, Dior, Bulgari, stores with no customers, just bored-looking employees. There's even a Princess Diana store. What is that? We saw a single suit in a window that was probably $3,000. Middle-class Ohio isn't coming here to buy that. This is the new face of Vegas, exclusive celebrity-branded restaurants. We walked past the Paris Casino, and there it is, Martha Stewart and Lisa Vanderpump. It's all so fancy. This is the new strategy that executives talk about in their shareholder meetings. They are curating a new clientele, but what they're really doing is evicting their old one. And this new fancy Vegas has a dirty secret. To pay for all this cold, empty luxury, they have declared war on the average customer's wallet. And the first battleground? The hotel room. It's the ultimate deception. The advertised price is a lie. We stayed at the Park MGM, one of the only non-smoking joints on the Strip. It was nice. Our room was advertised at $39. A classic Vegas deal. But then, the bill. The resort fees were $50 a day. That $39 room was suddenly $89 before taxes. And on the weekend, that same tiny basic room was $226 a night, plus the $50 fee. So what does this $50 a day resort fee get you? We looked. It's basic Wi-Fi, which is free at every coffee shop in America. Access to a pool, which is a basic amenity of a hotel, a gym, and a phone in the room. These are things that almost every other hotel in the world provides for free. It is a ripoff, plain and simple. It's a way to lie to you about the price. And the gouging doesn't stop there. It's a death by 1,000 cuts. We found another money grab. Refrigerators are available for a daily fee. You don't even get a refrigerator in the room. You have to pay for a fridge. It's so bad that people are getting their trash cans and filling them with ice just to keep their drinks cold. Come on, Vegas. And then there's the original sin of the new Vegas, parking. For decades, parking was free. It was the unwritten rule. You drive into town, they give you a place to park, you come inside and spend your money. Not anymore. Now it's $20, $30, even $50 a day just to park your car. They are charging you for the privilege of coming to their casino to give them your money. It's the ultimate symbol of their new arrogance. This strategy is so blatant that it's almost comical. Just recently, the city announced a huge citywide 5-day sale. Discounts on everything, they promised. Let's get people back here. It was the first time in history they had ever done something like this, a sign of pure desperation. We went to the website, visitlasvegas.com/deals. And what did we find? The same deception, just packaged differently. Here's an example of one of their sales. A random room on a Tuesday, $9 a night. A $9 room in Vegas. Sounds like the old days, but then you click $100 in fees. A $9 room that costs $109. Who do they think they're kidding? We found another, a $50 room. After fees, $226. This isn't a sale. It's an insult. This isn't a market correction. This is a rebrand. And the price gouging has spread from the rooms to everything else. The food is crazy, absolutely crazy. Back in the day, you could get a 49-cent breakfast, a 99-cent shrimp cocktail. I remember those days. $9.99 buffets. Rooms were cheap, food was cheap, hookers were cheap, blow was cheap. You came, you had a good time, you gambled. Not anymore. We saw a $50 basket of fried stuff, $19 for 6 chicken wings, $11 beers, $32 cheeseburgers, $24 for 3 meatballs, a $30 penny sandwich, $30. We even found a vending machine selling tiny single-serve bottles of champagne for $30. A vending machine. We went to a bar that was completely dead. I asked the bartender for 2 soda waters. 2 soda waters. He said it was going to be $13.50 for carbonated water. What the hell, Vegas? We walked into Lisa Vanderpump's bar. The deal here, $22 cocktails and $129 shots. We paid $50 for 1 round of drinks. At another bar, we paid $40 for a single Miller Lite and 1 vodka soda. 2 shots of vodka and a Red Bull, $19.50. A can of Coke, $5. A fruit cup, $7. It's relentless. They've even found a way to charge you for your own money. The ATMs on the casino floor now charge a $9.99 fee. And it's not just the greed, though. That's a huge part of it. The city is also facing a perfect storm of external pressures. There's a reason some people are calling this the Trump slump. International visitors are staying away in droves. Canada is still boycotting the U.S. over political tariffs and the 51st state talk. And Canadians are a huge part of Vegas tourism. The mayor here was practically begging Canadians to come back at a news conference a couple of weeks ago. It's not just them. Many Latino visitors don't want to come, afraid of getting deported. And the high rollers, the whales that Vegas casinos were redesigned for, they're missing. We walked around for 2 nights and the absence was obvious. The deep-pocketed Asian gambler, the Chinese guy with his wife throwing down $1,000 a hand, they are not here. You used to see them in groups at all the high-limit tables. Now, nothing. Their own economy is struggling, and the political tensions don't help. This city has spent a decade re-engineering itself for a high-end international clientele that is no longer showing up. And then there's the internal threat. People can gamble at home now. They can do it on their phones. They can sit on their couch and lose their money. They don't need to fly to a city that is actively trying to rip them off at every turn. To be fair, we did see some signs of large crowds. At night on the Strip, it can feel busy. I was walking around on Sunday night and I was like, hey, it's kind of busy. There's still a ton of people here. The pool at our hotel was packed, so it's not as dead as you've heard. But people kept saying, no, this is really nothing compared to how it used to be. It seems Vegas is turning into just an event place. Concerts, shows, shopping, and sporting events. We were outside the T-Mobile Center where the WNBA's Las Vegas Aces play. It's a very big building for not a lot of fans. It's another one of these giant expensive shells waiting for a crowd. And the city is curating its image with an iron fist. We drove just 4 or 5 blocks off the main strip, and we saw it. Empty strip malls, boarded up buildings. We stopped at an AM/PM on Las Vegas Boulevard, and there was a very armed security guard out front. They do a very good job of keeping the poverty and the problems off the strip, pushing them into the other neighborhoods, because people wouldn't come if they didn't. The strip itself is very clean. It's this bizarre contrast. You'll see a sign for naked people, and right next to it, the sidewalk is perfectly clean. It's an illusion. With all these pressures, you'd think Vegas would be lowering prices to get people back. You'd think they'd be bringing back the 99-cent shrimp cocktail. Instead, they're doubling down, squeezing every last dollar from whoever is left. To see the endgame of this strategy, to see what this corporate-led future looks like, you just have to drive 90 minutes south. We went to Laughlin, Nevada. It's a tiny little Vegas on the Arizona border, an aging resort town. We thought, let's go down to regular people land. If Vegas is too expensive, Laughlin should be booming. This is where the middle class should be. What we found was a ghost town. It was dead, sad, and sorry. The first thing you see is the Colorado Bell. It's a massive riverboat-themed casino, and it's permanently closed. They shut it down during COVID and just never reopened. 5 years later, it just sits there, a 1,100-room hotel rotting on the riverbank. It is a haunting sight. We went into the Tropicana, dead. We went into the Golden Nugget, dead. There was nobody out. We were walking around at 9 p.m. on a Saturday, and it was completely dead. It felt like 1 a.m. The sports book was empty. The Keno Lounge was empty. The In-N-Out Burger was even empty. I've never been to Laughlin before, and I was not impressed. It's pretty janky. I don't know if it's always been kind of a rundown, has-been place, but you've got a lot of signs with the lights out. You've got empty areas. We saw the big Mr. Cowboy sign, and it was dark. When Mr. Cowboy's sign is off at 9:30 at night, that's not a good sign. And the prices? We found the same problems as Vegas, just sadder. The prices were still jacked up. We heard someone ask a bartender for a Scooby Snack cocktail. The bartender said it was $31. $8.50 Miller Lights. Even here, a Bubba Gump shrimp dinner was $30. We couldn't figure it out. The whole town was a graveyard. But our hotel, the Aquarius, was packed. It was a madhouse. We finally asked the front desk, and they told us the only reason the hotel was busy was because of a concert, a DRI concert. And that's the sobering discovery. The old model is dead. These towns are no longer destinations. They are just venues. They are shells. And the second the show is over, the second the band leaves the stage, they are empty. Laughlin is suffering. It never recovered from COVID, and it's getting old fast. We drove back to Las Vegas for our final night, and it all clicked. The city has changed. It's not just the prices. It's the entire vibe. It's the soul of the place. We walked the strip. It used to be loud. People would be drinking, smoking. There was energy. It was fun, spontaneous, and joyous. People seemed to enjoy just being here. But on this trip, I was one of the only people I saw walking around with a drink in my hand. The new crowd is subdued. They have no smiles on their faces. They are just trudging from hotel to hotel, from one overpriced experience to the next. The people that were walking around seemed very much more upscale. Lots of people carrying bags from stores I don't want to spend things on. It feels corporate. It feels cold. It's not fun. Is Las Vegas dead? Number. Las Vegas is not dead, but Las Vegas has changed. It has made a bet. It has bet that it doesn't need the middle class. It has bet that luxury, sports, and celebrity chefs could replace the very people who gave this city its life, its energy, its soul. Las Vegas was built on a simple democratic promise. Anyone could come, anyone could play, anyone could hit it big. It was the American dream, rendered in neon. What happens when that promise is broken? What happens when what happens here stays here is replaced by pay up or get out? A city built on belonging cannot survive by being intentionally exclusive. A party that uninvites most of its guests will eventually end when a city built on the very idea of everyone decides it only wants a select few. What is left? And who will be there to see it? Like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so you never miss any updates from us.